Hi everyone, I'm Amberly, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make coffee filter flowers. It's a fun little project to do in the classroom to help usher in spring. The materials you're going to need are coffee filters. Each flower takes 6, so I do have 6 of them here. You're going to need food coloring, scissors, green pipe cleaners, a stapler, and a little vessel to have your water in. First, what you're going to do is decide what color you want your flower, and I'm going with red today. And based on whether you want darker or lighter flowers, you add food coloring accordingly. I'm going to have lighter red flowers, so we're going to put about 4 drops of food coloring in our water, and just give it a little shake, mix it all around in there. Then you're going to take your coffee filters and just kind of gather them up. You don't need to crease them right now, but just kind of gather so all the ends are together. And we're going to dip it into our water till the color is about halfway up the filter. And you gotta rock it back and forth to make sure you get all the edges. And you drip it off there. And then have a plate or something set aside to open them back up and let them dry. This is what they look like when they're wet. And they do need to dry generally overnight. That's how long I dried mine. And so I have some here. After they're dry, they're pretty stiff and whatnot. And we have our 6 here. And we're going to split them up into 2 groups of 3. And then the first one, we're going to fold in half and just cut along the edge to make a little texture. It doesn't need to be anything perfect because once you get them all folded up, they're going to look completely different anyhow. So I just like to kind of scallop the edge on that one. And then our second group, fold it in half. And then this one I like to cut little triangle notches out. And like I said, it doesn't have to be anything perfect. You don't need to measure it or make sure they're all the same size. If you get some a little deeper than the other, that's just going to make the flower look that much cooler. So clean our mess up there. And then we open up the scalloped edge one. And we're going to lay our triangle edge one in the middle of it, and we got them all together and folded in half. And you're going to take your pipe cleaner, put it right there in the middle, and then fold them over again. This is where you take your stapler, and you don't need to go very high, just about a quarter or a half inch up, and give it a little staple. And then this is where we open the whole thing back up again. You got to be careful not to pop them right off of that staple. So we have our flower opened up, and you're going to take that top layer of coffee filter, and you're just going to gather it all up at the base where that staple is. And you're going to give it a little smush. And then do that again with the next layer. Sometimes once they're stapled, they're hard to get apart a little bit. But you take that next layer, gather it all up, and smush it at the base again. And then same thing with the third layer. Gather it all up, right at the base by that staple, and just pinch it in there. Then we have our other layer with just the wavy edges, and we're just going to do the same thing. Separate it, gather it all up at the base, and squeeze. And we have 2 more layers. Gather it all up. Right at the base and squeeze. And then the final layer. Gather it up at the base and squeeze. Pretty much got a flower so far. What I like to do is squeeze the whole thing then gently and then just kind of fluff it back out. And the pipe cleaners I have aren't too sturdy, so I bring the other end up and then just kind of twirl it to make it a little more stable. But there you are, a coffee filter flower for springtime. Put it in a little vase, and you're all set.